My name is Rebecca LUCARIO. I'm from the Pueblo of Acoma. I've been making pottery since I was 8 years old. This year I'm planning on bringing 2 pots that I made, didn't know that my grandmother had saved, and it has my name on the back of the pots in big letters. It says Rebecca Jane Lewis on there. Like I mentioned, I started making pottery when I was 8. The way I made pottery was I was not allowed to touch my grandmother's clay. But I started out making pottery with the clay that we used to plaster our homes. When you fire them, they come out red. When I finally was allowed to do the work with the real clay, I was really shocked, sad, hurt, because she said, okay, now you have to go get your clay. I thought she was going to say, well, here's the clay, you can start making. I had to gather my own materials. And to this day, I'm really glad that I did that, because now I know where to gather the materials, where to get them. I also have experimented with, and I do have a little ceramic shop. I know that I have people, I have a little studio there on the side where when tourists come up, I tell them, these are all slip cast pots. Everything about it is commercial. And to them, it's like, wow, you actually can see which pots are handmade and which ones are slip cast. So everything about this is commercial. The slip, the molds, the paint, the glazing, glazing cups, plates, bowls. Then I tell them, okay, this is the headache part of the shop. This is where I have to dig my clay, and I have all my materials out, because that's where I work. I grind my clay, and then some of them have seen me grind up my shards and process the clay. Back about 3 years ago, there was someone who I was, amazed at the interest that this person had, who actually stayed around to see me fire a pot. That was the year that I wanted, to see, have people see how I fired the pot. And then there are other people who, from my own Pueblo, have said, well, I want to learn how to fire outdoors, but then nobody comes. But it's like, there's a lot of cow manure now, because most people, majority of the potters at Acoma kiln fire. But it's something that, I guess I can say that for the potters, I think that's about, for the majority of them, no longer do is the firing outdoors, because there is a lot of breakage, especially the large pots. And I know a lot of people say that they fire outdoors their pots, but like I said, in all fairness and honesty, that's, it's not true. But a lot of the pots that you see, that's another thing. I don't know. I'm only telling my side, how I do my pottery. I do process my own clay. I gather my materials and I make them, and I'm not stingy about sharing that information. And if anybody wants to see, I let them see, because I think that people appreciate the art more if they actually see you going through the whole process. I did a demo over at Andrea's gallery one time, and there was a gentleman that came. She said, this is the gentleman that can't believe you actually paint these kind of designs. And he came over, he introduced himself, and he said, I see you working. I still can't believe anybody can do that. He thought I did it on a computer. I said, I would have millions of pots if I did that. I wish I did. But that's how I do my pottery. I gather all my clays. I mix my own paints. In fact, just yesterday, I was out on the side of the road picking the wild spinach to mix into my paints. So I was out gathering that. And just 2 days ago, I was mixing my clay to make some smaller pieces for market. But it's a hard process. It's a difficult process, time consuming. And I think that's what scares a lot of the young potters. So they do go, you know, just do the slip cast pots just to, you know, try to sell something to the tourists because it's not as expensive. And for a lot of our people, it's their own income, their only income. Jobs are really scarce right now. But I try to encourage the young people. Last year, during my daughter's senior year, I did, at her school, the art teacher asked me to come in and do a demonstration of the pottery, the hand-built pots. I did, and there was, out of the 18 students that were in that class, only 2 really took interest. The others said, oh, this is too hard. Whenever they thought you could just go in there, get a piece of clay, make it, and paint it all in, you know, the 1 hour of class time. And I was there for 2 weeks, and I made them mix their paints and make their own brushes, and they couldn't believe how difficult it was. A lot of them got frustrated. So I am proud to say that I have a son, my oldest son, Daniel Lucario, and my daughter who brought me up, Amanda Lucario. She, both of them finally got into Indian market. They're the ones that are following in my footsteps, and I'm pleased at that because for a long time they really weren't taking any interest. I have another daughter who does mostly jewelry, but my youngest daughter still can't decide what she wants to do. She's you know, finished her first year of college, so she's still undecided what she wants to do. She does make pottery, but it's mostly figures, and all her pots are coiled. I don't know how she does it, but that's how she does her work. But to me, each potter has their own technique, their own style. And if when Wanda shows up, I'm sure she will show you and tell you how she does her work. But we may all be potters, but we all have developed our own techniques and our own styles.
Thank you. Thank you very much.